Let's catch up with injuries. Where are we at the moment with maybe people coming back or people ruled out currently?
Charlie Beach had surgery, hopefully back in the next 10 days to 2 weeks. Dean Schofield's now back in contention, which is great after his operation 3 months ago. Forsyth's still injured. Liam Lake's obviously longer term with the back surgery. So we are getting there. Ross Graham's got a little bit of a groin issue, so we're getting there. Richard Beck's another one, a hamstring. So it's just one of these things, one back 1 week and then we lose one the next. But, there'll be more back this week. Ollie Steadman's back in contention. So, hopefully come the next month we can get virtually everybody back. Maybe Lee is probably the only longer term one that we just have to give time with his back injury.
So Dean Schofield back in contention. How big a boost is that, and how much has he been missed?
Yeah, I think Mike Marscough obviously has come back over the last 2 weeks, so that helps us and strengthens that area. Ben West's come in and been very good for us as well. So, on that side of it, we've got strength and depth in there now. And, Dean's experience, Dean's tight work around the drive and scrum and defensively of these as well, it is good. But ultimately, the other guys have played pretty well in that slot with Dan and Smithy have all done pretty well. So, he's going to have to wait for his chance, and when he gets it, play well. And, going forward with the next 7 matches in the league in BNI quarter final, there's some big opportunities for players to put their hands up for the hopefully the later stages.
2 big home games coming up after it seems an age since you were last at Headingley. How important are these 2 games against Rotherham and Cornish Parks, particularly being home games and the fact that you can basically seal playoffs already?
Yeah, I think it's massive. The Rotherham game is huge for us. Just it's a derby game, and our disappointment from last weekend should drive the players on. And then after that, Pirates, who are a little bit unknown sometimes in the consistency, but they are a dangerous team. And we'll focus on Rotherham because then there's a week off in the middle where we have no game. So on that side of it, we get a chance to look at Pirates in depth. And in that block, we've got a 6-game run. So we've got obviously Pirates, we've got Jersey, we've got London Irish twice, and then Doncaster. So we've got some big games coming up in that block, so we've got to use next week wisely, and we've got to then focus on everything is geared to that block of 6 games after.
And what about Rotherham? They seem to be a little bit stronger despite their league position with some injuries coming back. How much of a challenge are they going to be?
Yeah, they're a good set piece side. Watch them. Obviously, a lot of on reviewing them. Their scrum's good. Their drive. They've got some big ball carriers in there, and it's like any team, if you give them confidence to get their set piece going, and with the conditions, it may be wet, it may be muddy, so we have to take that. So our ball retention is huge, and then when we have the ball, we've got to make sure we look after it smartly, because if you keep giving up opportunities to a team to come in with a good scrum, suddenly it's 3, 6, 9, 12 points from penalties, and so we have to be aware of where we play the game and make sure that our defence is better, which it has been of late. We're conceding 1 and 2 tries now and not many more. So I think that side of it is getting better defensively. We were very good at the weekend. So we just need to make sure that we keep our focus on us and respect them and know that they're coming to put us down. And, yes, there's a good lead in second position, but it's about this weekend and not about the lead.
You mentioned that block of 6 games you got. Have you got an eye on the back-to-back fixture against London Irish? Will your team selection be different looking into them games?
Yeah, we've got to focus on these next 4 games in the league before we get to Irish. And ultimately, the boys that have got us to the quarter-final, they'll probably be desperate to play in that. And I think it's the managing of the squad. We'll know a league position by that time, and whether that's the right thing to do is manage that game with any rotations. I think we'll just have to wait and see how the game goes. The week before and the next 3 or 4 matches. So we don't get too far ahead of ourselves. We are rugby people. It's quite hard to look too far ahead, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
You mentioned not wanting to underestimate Rotherham, but obviously you rotated the side previous game, but had some success with that. Being as a bottom of the table game, are you looking to rotate again, obviously balancing sort of the cup commitments as well?
No, not at all. The previous 4 games in the BNI with the 2 games in the middle was a chance for us to get everybody playing and play some rugby, because now we're getting to a stage where if someone doesn't play in them BNI games, we then go into a game potential with somebody who's not played for 8 to 10 to 12 weeks, which isn't great preparation for them or for the team, and unfair to judge a player on not playing. So that block of 4 games in the BNI was a real opportunity for us, you know, to get players to play. There'll be no rotation now going forward. You know, it'll be about who plays the best, who gets consistent partnerships. I thought, you know, Pete and Cass at the weekend in the centres were outstanding. With the defensive work especially, how easy it made the wingers and the fullbacks' job. So that comes from consistency. That comes from playing together, talking, working, solving any issues or problems they've had in previous games. So we won't be looking at rotation. It'll be, you know, giving people chances when it's right, freshen up the squad, which is 3 or 4 changes, never 10 changes, 12 changes like we have done in previous B&I games.